Biracial people, do you ever feel like you don't fit in? Do you ever feel like you're looked down on by black people and white people? Do you ever feel like you don't fit in on either side and you feel like you're facing discrimination on each side? Well, if you feel that way, you're not crazy, because it's reality. It's something that goes on in everyday walks of life. And I think a lot of our race conversations in this country exclude biracial people, because even though a biracial person is not always seen as the typical black person, a biracial person faces discrimination that nobody else faces, because we're facing racism from white people because we're not white enough, or because we carry some black genes, and we're being discriminated by black people because we don't act like the typical black person does. And why we have to have a stereotype for how a black person should act and how a white person should act is just beyond me. I mean, I go out in my life and I do what I gotta do. I get through who I have to get through. And I could give two shits how I sound, I could give two shits how I look, I could give two shits if I look too black for the white crowd, or too black for the white crowd, or too white for the black crowd, and all this stuff. I really do not care. But there was a time when I did care. There was a time when I was very insecure about being biracial because everybody else was either one or the other. And there were times growing up when I wondered if I would ever fit in anywhere. But I've taken life in stride, I guess you could say. I've realized that anywhere you go, you're gonna find good and you're gonna find bad. Bad comes in all colors, all shapes, you know, all fucking species. It comes everywhere. So, you know, as long as you're ready for it, and as long as you don't let your guard down, you'll be fine. But why is it? Just why do we have to carry a certain stereotype for how a black person should act? And why does a biracial person feel like they have to live up to those standards? You know what I mean? Or you're not black enough. I really could give two shits if I'm black enough or not. I could give a fuck who accepts me, or you know, why, if I act a certain way. I mean, I got too many positive people in my life to really worry about why I'm not acting a certain way. And hopefully, you know, we can have some kind of intervention in this country or something, because, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, like the black side, and when you're gonna face it on the white side too. I mean, you're gonna face some white people in this country who embrace you automatically. Then you're gonna face some who don't embrace you as much, but they still do, or maybe they try to act like they do. And then you're gonna face some who, you're black, stay away. What can you do? What can you do? You know, if you want, if I'm gonna spend my whole life worrying about being liked by other people, then your whole life's gonna be a struggle. You know what I mean? But I think that's where a lot of our problems start. A lot of our problems start because of problems within each community. You know, you have the problems in the black community, you know, and a lot of it's from oppression and inequality that's happened, and it still happens all the time. And then you have your problems in the white community, where they just want to keep everything pure, all white. So when you throw a biracial person in that mix, man, where the fuck do I go? Which way do I go? Where do I go, left or do I go right? Don't go left, don't go right. Go straight. Keep going straight. Go straight ahead. Life is too short to worry about which way you should go. Don't think, react. React. Be comfortable with yourself. If you act white, that's who you are. If you act black, that's who you are. The only problem, I think, well, the biggest problem with that could be if you're denying either side, which I don't think any biracial person should really deny either side of their heritage. But, you know, you can't say just because a person's biracial that they should act more black or they should act more white. That's for anybody. I mean, you got all kinds of people who you got black people who one could say they act white, and then you have a white person who acts black. So I refuse to be sucked in by the stereotypes of a white person should be white and a black person should be black, or however this country wants to paint out how a person should be. You know, I don't know, it's just something that bugs me. It's something I think about a lot. And it's weird because of a lot of the topics I've thought about my whole life regarding race, and a lot of the things that have bothered me about the race in this country is actually coming out now. It's actually being discussed by people in an open manner, and of course it's going to make certain people uncomfortable and whatever, but you know, big fucking deal. You gotta, the only way we're gonna fix anything here is if we talk, and people are gonna get uncomfortable. You know, that's just the way life goes. Everything can't be peachy keen and happy-go-lucky all the time. To fix a problem, you gotta dig dirty. You gotta get deep. You gotta get nasty. Get in the mud a little bit. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll probably make another video in the next 2 days or so. I gotta get some sleep.